Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Before we begin, I would just want to say that please make sure you watch this video to the end. I'm dealing with facts about this situation in the US right now. Now, many of you are thinking there, but you're not in the US, why are you talking about this? Well, actually, it affects us all, and it will have a detrimental effect on the industry and the hobby as a whole. Now, I think that there's a narrative here that is not being discussed, and it's not being discussed fully. And right now, we need to discuss this. We need to get things out on the open. We need to talk about what needs to be talked about and get rid of everything that needs to be, let's say, ignored for now. Okay, let's get into it. Hi everyone, Stephen from the Flyby guys. Now, this is not an easy video for me to make. There's going to be things that you're not going to like, but I need you to understand that this is nothing against anyone or anything. This is purely on facts and what needs to be said for the good of the industry as a whole. Now, those of you who will know who I am, you'll know what I do. I am a hobbyist at heart. I fly drones purely as a hobby. I also run a drone company, the Flyby guys, out of Finland. Now, we work internationally. We work all over the world. We do various drone operations. We do inspections. We do drone light shows. We are working with DJI drones. We don't get any free DJI drones. We're not paid by DJI or anything, but we use the drones, okay? If there was a drone ban tomorrow here in Europe, it would seriously affect us. And what I'm kind of unhappy about right now is the narrative that is being pushed out there in internet land, and that is that this is going to affect the hobby, and search and rescue and the first responders are going to be affected really badly. I'm very, very sorry to say that the hobby doesn't really bring any money in at all, apart from what you will buy, you give to a shop, okay, or a store. So, you know, but apart from that, the hobby brings nothing to the table. Now, as a hobbyist, I am aware of this, I know this, I care about the hobby, but when it comes to this drone ban, we need to stop the narrative with the hobby. Honestly, nobody gives a fuck. I'll say it, I'll be really honest, okay? Now, you may not like that, okay? But I'm telling you right now, nobody gives a fuck about the hobby. Now, we fight for the hobby, we do as much as we can, but at the end of the day, the industry is what matters. Those companies that make money are what matters, and those companies are the ones that are going to be affected here. This is where the focus should be on this drone ban. It should be on the narrative of those who work in the industry, those who bring money to the economy of the country, mainly the US right now, because this is where the focus of the ban is going to be. But if this ban does come in, it's going to have a massive effect to other countries in the world. Right, there's also this narrative of search and rescue and first responders. Again, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about that, because they don't bring anything to the table. Now, of course, I care about people being saved. They will always have drones for that. There are drones coming out all the time. Parrot are bringing drones out. SkyD will have drones out in the US. They have that. So let's forget this narrative of search and rescue. There are plenty of drones out there that will do that job. Can we focus on what really matters here? And that is the livelihoods and the income of the people who work in this industry every fucking day. This is what matters. Now, we need to focus on making sure that the people who work here and provide the services that they do every day, not just drone operators, but there are software companies that are working behind the scenes that are developing their systems based on DJI software and hardware. We need to focus on the companies that are making the hardware, that are making accessories for your drones, not just enterprise drones, but also for the hobby as well. If we have this drone ban, everything and everyone will be affected. Not just the drone operators, not just the hobby, not just the first responders and search and rescue, but everyone will be affected. And that will have an effect globally. I think that we really need to focus on what matters here. Income, money. Money talks. Come on, let's get real. And the hobby doesn't bring anything in here. Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to push down on the hobby here. The hobby is important. I know that. I am a hobbyist. But I'm realistic. I know the hobby brings nothing to the table, so we shouldn't be focusing on the hobby. Saying that the hobby is a big part of what's wrong here is like saying that the tablecloth on the table is the most important thing. No, it's the food that you have, not the tablecloth. Start listening to professionals here. Stop listening to people that don't matter, that don't work in the industry. Start listening to people who work in the industry, who provide services to the industry, who do this every single day. This is what matters for the drone ban, not people who do this for a hobby. I'm sorry. I don't mean to really, offend people here or anything, okay? But people's livelihoods are at stake. My livelihood is at stake here. I'm not in the US. It's not going to affect me tomorrow, but it could affect me next month. This is what matters. Can we please, everyone, stop fucking around. Stop messing around with things that don't matter and focus on the industry, the people that work, software, drone operators, accessories, everything that brings more to the table within the drone industry than the hobby does. I'm sorry, the hobby matters to me, it does, but it will not bring anything. It has no value when it comes to this drone ban right now and fighting for it. It really does, it brings no value. So stop shouting about the hobby, start focusing on the people that are going to be seriously affected here. Yes, I know your drone, you're flying your sub 250 and it's terrible, and if you crashed it you might not get a new one. Yeah, I know, I feel for you, it's really bad. But there are people that are working here every day, people that I know. Now, let's have a look at what will really matter here. So, if you're a drone operator working in utilities, and you have the drone ban coming in, and then you can't buy a new drone, that means the utilities have to find an alternative to drones. That means helicopters. That means more expensive. That means that's going to be passed on to the consumer at some point as well. Those that work in the telecom industry, if you're using drones to help with telecom, that means they have to have more people, because using drones helps that a lot. You can do more inspections without having people. That means hiring more people. Of course, it's great, it creates more jobs, but that's going to create more expense later. Construction companies are using drones every day for data. It's a vital part of project management. If they can't use drones, they'll have to find alternatives. Hire more people, maybe even have helicopters, I don't know. But that's going to bring more expense in. Having a drone ban is going to have a massive detrimental effect to the economy of the country. So can we please stop fucking around with areas that really don't matter here, I'm sorry, and start focusing on what should be focused on. The industry, the people, livelihoods, people's homes. I've said what I've got to say here. I'm very sorry if this upsets people. You know who I am, you know what I do, you know what I care about. But we're in a serious situation now, very serious situation. And I really do hope for everyone's sake and their livelihoods and their homes and their cars and their families, that we find a solution to this. Fly safe.